Back, everybody, to another episode of Meet the Author. This may be a familiar face for people who have been following us way since the beginning. Willow Aster is back here today to chat with us. Willow, thank you so much for coming back.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me. Good to see you again.
Yes, it's so good to have you back on here. So it's been about I think a year and a half now since the last time we talked. So just obviously we're in a whole new book series now. We'll talk about your books here in a second, but how has life just been in general for you? Kind of, catch us up on how things have been going in your personal life. Things going well. Have you had any crazy moves or any changes in the last year?
It's been a crazy year. Good things and crazy things. It's been an intense year. Health things and travel and all kinds of things, but it's all in all been so nice. So
Where's the coolest place that you've been able to travel in the last year?
I went to Austria with my husband. That was amazing.
That sounds
Beautiful.
incredible.
So beautiful. I also had a very bad ski injury and got a concussion there. So it's like a little bit PTSD, a little bit amazing. But yeah, it was so beautiful. I would definitely go back there.
I'm getting to travel like away from the United States for the first time in like a month when I go on my honeymoon. I'm going to Europe. So I've never got to go anywhere cool like that. So I'm like really excited, but I won't be skiing. So
don't do it. I loved skiing, but I'm not doing it again.
How long were you able to go over there for that trip?
It was about a week. So it was a good amount of time.
That's
beautiful.
Incredible.
Yeah. You're going to have so much fun. You're going to love it.
Yes, I'm really excited.
Where all are you going?
We're going to London, Paris, and Rome. So kind of hitting all the big cities since we've never been over there, and just kind of get a feel for everything. And then obviously we'll want to go back, other times. But yes, I'm really excited about it.
Congratulations too. That's so exciting.
Yes, I don't think I was engaged the last time we talked, so a lot can happen in a year.
Yes, it can. So much. That's amazing.
So exciting. I'm so happy that you've been able to travel, and not about the concussion part. Obviously, that's never a good thing, but at least you look healthy and healed up all now from that.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm getting there. It's been a weird year and just have had to adjust things because of it. But yeah, it makes you more empathetic for people who go through this all the time. So
that definitely can kind of change your life in a way that you weren't expecting. But
I'm
happy to see that you're being able to be on here and still smiling as always. And
yes.
Positive person. That's why I love chatting with you. Is you always just have this just like positive energy. It's just like it radiates. Everyone who talks to you, just feel like they get like the happy vibes.
Thank you. That's such a great compliment. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's obviously chat about, you're in a new series now since the last time I talked with you.
Yes.
And it's a single dad series, which I love. But what made you be like, okay, I want to do it. I want to write a single dad series. I'm like, the whole thing, it's going to be dedicated to the dads.
Yeah. I think because I had so much fun writing Autumn Nights. That was kind of I've written single parents before, but that was kind of football and a single dad, and I just had the best time writing that story. And there are two single parent stories in the Landmark Mountain series. One is a single mom and one is a single dad sprinkled in there, but I had the idea for it kind of before even Landmark Mountain, just that was the next direction.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, by the time I got there, I couldn't wait to get into it. And it's been really fun. I wanted to write something that was all ages of kids too. So this was a way I could do that.
That's what was going to be one of my next questions. Do you feel like it's really fun for you to not have to just like, because obviously, with some of the other single parent books that you've done, it's usually like some younger kids, but this one, I feel like you've really branched out, that you kind of have, the variety of ages. Have you had to like research a little bit more to be like, okay, trying to remember certain things, or has it just been like, oh no, this is easy. Like I like to do this. Like this is fun for me.
I've got enough either memories of raising my own kids or friends' kids that are
Mhm.
going through those ages that I can look and emulate in my stories what is going on.
Kind of
Not that
bring
I'm
like
copying people's stories, but
does it kind of bring fun memories back, like getting to go back and look at like, memories with you raising your own kids, being like, oh, like this was such a good time and this was such a fun age, and like it's kind of like giving you the
yes,
warm and fuzzies to get to reflect like on your own life.
so much. Yes. And random phrases will come up that I'll remember that my kids said. And yeah, it's been really fun.
That's so awesome. So obviously, this is the second book that we're chatting about. I mean, we had two books in this series, but second book is coming out on October 10th. So that's going to be, we're
Yeah.
recording this a little bit early. We'll be, posting this as a little bit closer to release day. How do you feel though about to release this next book in this series? What are your thoughts on it as we're getting a little bit closer to release day?
I'm just ready. At this point, it's like it's been out for a while. I mean, not out, done for a while. You know, we have to get it to audio early, and I'm deep into the next stories. And so it just, yeah, I'm so ready for it to be out there. I'm ready for all of them to be out there so we can just talk about them all.
Is that hard for you? Because you just said you're promoting the second one, because that's the one that's out now. But then you also still have to promote the first one because you want people to get into the series and pick them up for the first time. So you can't forget about that one. But then
I
your brain's
know
actually, writing the next few, and you're like somewhere else. Is that hard to kind of be like, okay, wait, what happened here? And I
it
can't spoil this
is.
yet.
Yes, people will ask, what was your favorite scene to write? And I have to stop and think about it because my favorite scene just happened like 10 minutes ago and it's a completely different book. It's not. So, yeah, I have to kind of refresh a little bit. So,
How far ahead do you typically get in your writing process? I remember the last time we talked, you were usually like a couple books. Are you still trying to be like one or two, or is it to the point that you're like, oh, I'm done with this series now and I'm moved on to something different?
I wish I got ahead with this and then like all the concussion stuff happened and so it slowed things way down and I did kind of a different process of writing to get it out. But yeah, I'm not as far ahead as I want to be anymore. So it makes it a little stressful, but they're getting done. So
That's all that matters is they're getting
yes.
done, and life happens and you have to, change and alter things. And I would say I do this all the time now. I'm always interviewing authors, and the fact that you're still ahead, a lot of people would say, I want to be her. There's
Yeah,
so
I
many
would
people
like
that I
to
talk
be.
to that I'm like, they just get their release done, and I'm like, okay, like, what are you working on next? And they're like, I'm brainstorming. I wish I could tell you something.
Oh, yeah. I There are books that I didn't write this year because I didn't get as far ahead as I needed to be to do those too. So that is a little bit of a bummer, but yeah, I'm just grateful that I've been able to meet my deadlines at this point. So, yeah, maybe next year. I don't maybe
You'll be able to catch up, and you'll be able to get back into the swing of things how you like it. And again, you're one of those people. You've been in this business for a long time. You're able to adapt. Things change. I have full faith in you that you're going to get right back to where you want to be.
thank you. I'm going to take those words and run with them.
You should. You should. Well, if you can remember this story again, I know it's kind of hard to go back and forth, but do you have a scene or a moment that you're just like, I cannot wait for my readers or people who are getting to listen to the audio? I cannot wait for them to just get to experience that moment, that especially within the second book.
Well, it's hard to pinpoint exact moments because I do have moments that I loved in it, but what I think makes this next book special is he's such a great Henley is the main character in this one. He's such a great girl dad.
Hmm.
He's got three daughters and they're like 13, 10, and 6, so or 9 and 6. And um he's just so great with them. So kind of any scenes that were with him and his daughters, and then True is the female heroine, and she's so great with them too. So that just was really heartwarming to every time I got to write those scenes. And then there's one scene in the dance studio. She's a dance teacher and an English teacher. But yeah, there's a scene in the dance studio with the two of them, Henley and True. It's very nice.
Love that. Love that. I also really liked in this book the fact that I feel like a lot of times in single parent books, we can really villainize the other, if it's like a divorce or something, and I really enjoyed how in this book it's like Henley and Bree were still able to co-parent so well. They have three
Yes,
kids. It's like they loved each other. They had three children. They have
right.
they shared so much of their life together. And
Mm-hmm.
they were able to co-parent. Like I think that was something that I took away from it. It was because again,
Yes,
I think for so many people it's just like an easy like cop out where it's like, oh, we'll just make the ex-wife or the ex-husband or whoever, the villain.
right.
And I love that that's not what happened here. That it was like, no, like they're good parents together. They share love for
Mm-hmm.
each other. They just are not together anymore. And I really like applaud you for that because I really like
Thank you.
that you were able to like include it in that way in the story.
That was really important to me because I do feel like it is simpler a lot of times to just villainize the ex, whoever it is, whether it's a parent or like you're sharing a child, I mean, or an ex-wife, an ex-boyfriend, whoever it is. It's just easy to villainize, and that's always kind of, I've done it. It's not like I don't do it. I've done
Mhm.
it in a lot of books because some are that way. But there's a lot of people we have in our past that weren't bad people at all. You just don't end up with them, or it doesn't last. And so, yeah, it was important to me to portray that, especially parenting
I think
together.
that's again so important because I mean your readers too, people may be going through something like that, that's the awesome thing I think that you and just other authors have the opportunity to do is like you're writing these books that people sometimes reading is their escape and you never know, they could be
Mhm.
going through a divorce and they may be worried about, oh my gosh, how am I going to co-parent, and then they see something like this
Yeah.
and they're like, there's a way, there's a chance, I can
Yes.
still do things healthy. And I think that
Right.
you being able to portray it that way again, I applaud you for that because I'm sure there's so many people out there that are going to get their hands on this book and just really feel seen. And like, okay,
I
like
hope so.
I did something like this too. And it's not always,
Yeah.
people aren't always like pushed opposite sides. Sometimes it just is, life changes, things happen and
Mhm.
raise, cute little family together and you keep doing that.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Putting the kids first, it's something to aspire to for sure.
And I love how in like this book too, True doesn't like, that's the other thing too is sometimes, you have people that come in and they can feel like overly like not standoffish, but they feel like competition maybe a little bit.
Right.
And it's like,
Yes.
especially if the other parent, is still involved and they're trying to like step into
Mhm.
that role, but they don't want to like do too much. And I feel like that was
Mhm.
really well, like, portrayed here too. I think you just how you balanced everything, it was so good. It was just
Ah, thank you. That was probably the most challenging part of this book was balancing that relationship. Hers,
mhm.
Henley's and Bree's, and True's and Bree's, and all of that. And the kids, how they deal with it. So thank you. I'm glad it worked, or that you think it worked.
I think it was great. And again, how you have just so many complex kids too. You have the age up to 13 and obviously very different opinions of, divorce and things like that than the 6-year-olds can
Mhm.
understand. It's a very different life that they've lived.
Yes.
I like that had so many different, again, ages and how they were represented. So I think it's so fun. And again, people will be able to like connect to those characters, whether that was like, I grew up as a divorced kid, or like you're actively going through
Mhm.
that. So I think that's awesome. For this book, obviously, it's just now coming into the world. But for anyone who obviously loves you, has been following you since Landmark Mountain, even before that, Autumn Night. I mean, you have so many good ones that you put out into the world. Can you
Thank
tease a
you.
little bit at all of it? What's like third book for anyone who maybe has like, or they're just about to finish, book two, if they maybe got an arc or, what's next for
Yes.
our friend group here.
Yes. And a little tidbit is at the end of the ebook, there's a prologue in chapter 1 of the next book. It's not in the audio, but it is in the ebook. So just that little little, if you
Everyone
need a
go
little.
hunting.
Yes.
You listen to the
Um,
audio the day the book comes out, download it on your Kindle, read it again, get to the end so you can see that.
yes, please. Um, I'm so excited about the next one. I love Friends to Lovers. I know it's not for everybody, but I feel like um, I love them so much, and um, I really, yeah, I'm loving Rhodes and Elle. Elle has kind of been in the series, kind of. She was more in Secret Love, and she was in Mad Love too. They've been friends for so long, and um, yeah, just watching. We don't know what happened to them before Friendsgiving, but we know something did,
Mhm.
and yeah, they've been friends since college, and it's been a very long time. That, and you don't know if they both feel something for the other or not, but yeah, you'll find out all about it.
Forward to that. How does it feel now that you're, more into the series now? It's not like you just finished book one, book two is already about to be out there. You're working on, book three. How does it feel now that you're, again, more into this series? It's not like it's brand new. Do you feel like these characters, you just know them so well now that it's just like, you don't have to really think too much. You're like, oh, I know exactly how they're going to behave. I know exactly how they're going to act just because you've been with them now so long.
It is the fun part of getting into a series this deep, where they do, you are just, well, this is what they would say, this is what that one would say, like the guy group, um, their personalities, yeah, it's the fun part about it. I love that part. I didn't know I would like writing series so much because I wrote standalones for a long time. Um, but there is something about just getting into that world that's so much fun.
What do you like or maybe dislike? I feel like, I mean, at this point you're in the series, so you like it, but something very different than obviously the last full series that you just did was Landmark Mountain, and that's a family.
Mhm.
You're following
Mhm.
siblings and then the family, and now this is obviously a group of friends. So what is that kind of like mindset that you have to, it's still like the friend group is obviously found family, but it's not like true family that you're following all these different relationships, and so they're at every single event because it's again it's like they're siblings and they're always
Yeah,
gonna together. So what's that kind of mindset like going from okay, this series was following these siblings all the way through to this is a friend group. So, again, it's still found family. You're going to still have them involved with stuff, but they may not be
mhm.
around as much because it's not like blood related siblings. How did you kind of change those dynamics from, going from that one to now this series?
It does kind of um, make it introduces more characters even, which can be fun and hard to have so many characters going, because then you've got their families
Mm-hmm.
too besides all the friend groups, so that part can be tricky. But I think like with writing small town specifically, and them kind of all being in that small town together and close
Mm-hmm.
friends, and I know with our family here, um, we have a lot of found family. Like they just are like family, and some of them live here, some of them live across the country or whatever. But um, that part is easy to write. But yeah, accommodating all the characters until so it doesn't get too bogged down with so many people is challenging.
Do you ever have
And
like crazy diagram or something going on that you have to like write everyone's name and you're like, okay, this person's attached to who, and this person's here, and these people like each other, and these people don't.
yes, I don't have the diagram. I need that, but I just have a long list of characters and kind of descriptions, and yeah, it can get tricky.
I feel like I'd have to refer back to that every 5 seconds if I was an author. I'd have to be like, who did I say? Okay, yeah, that's what it. Wait, where are they? Like
Yes.
constantly
Yeah,
being like, what's going on?
I'm worse at timelines than I am with remembering who people are, so that's part of like I need disclaimers on every book, like forgive me if I messed up on the timeline, 'cause I'm not good at mathing to begin with. So, uh,
Well, and again, you write, ahead of time, so it's like even when you're in something, if you're writing something, you're still having to talk about something else that's behind. Like right now, you're
right.
working on what you're not talking about, and you're still having to you still talk about even Landmark Mountain and other things too. So your brain's not always
Yes.
fully right where you're at. So then it's like tricky because you're like, wait, yeah, what is this timeline? Did I talk about that in
Yeah.
this book? What is this the
I'm
next book?
trying to
Where is this going?
right. Pregnancies, forget about it. Just
She's been 9 months pregnant for like 3 books now. Just leave it alone, okay?
Yes, forgive me.
This baby is well loved. It is fully cooked. We're good.
Yes, we can pretend this is soap opera time, please.
That's so awesome. Well, what is one thing that you're just really excited for? As again, release day gets a little bit closer. We're recording this a little bit earlier, but I'm going to post it obviously next week, really close to release day. So, what's just one thing that you're really looking forward to once readers actually, have this book and they're able to have it in their hands?
I can't wait for them to hopefully fall in love with Henley and True and the family they create and already have built together.
What
That's
do you
it.
like? What do you like to do on release days? Are you one of those people that you don't want to check anything, or do you like to go see? Okay, when you start to get tagged and stuff like that, are you constantly like refreshing and scrolling? And people make like fun little fan edits and like collages. Do you like to share those throughout the day, or do you get offline for the day and then you come back the next day and you kind of see how things went?
Yes, it's getting harder and harder to catch. Like I try to catch everything that people share. I really, really do. So a lot of the day is spent that way. But this year I will be at a Becca Syme conference all week next week, or this when the book comes out. So and I really do like to be busy working on release day instead of obsessively checking to see
Yeah.
what's happening. But I am still obsessively checking also. So let's not lie here. I'm still checking crazy. But yeah, and then the last few times I've gone out to dinner with my family, and I've really enjoyed that because it's just like step away from it for a couple hours and celebrate whether it's a good release or a not so great release, just to put things in perspective and have fun with the family. And yeah.
Let's say it's a celebration in general. You finished a book. There's so many people
Yes, exactly.
have that aspirations that have not done that. So just the fact that you put another one out there into the world, that you are continuing to, put these stories out there that people get to consume, that's a celebration in itself.
Yes, and this honestly, this year, any books that I put out have felt like such a gift and a relief at the same time that I was able to do it. Like, so yeah, definitely a celebration.
That's awesome. Well, I'm so looking forward to people getting to read this book because, again, I thought it was really just well done, and I loved again all the
Thank
different
you.
dynamics and just like the family, and obviously the found family of this like series is the friend group is fantastic, and that's why we come back. It's like a small town,
Yay.
like all these guys. It's who doesn't love single dads too? Like single dads, it's in right now.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I can't wait. And yeah, I can't wait for the rest of it to come out too. I'm ready.
Do you have any idea of what you're wanting to do after this series is done? Or you just like, no, let me just focus right now on the dads and then we'll talk about the next one. Catch me back in 2025 and we'll do another update.
Yes, it's cooking. It isn't as well fleshed out yet as the Single Dad Playbook was, but it is cooking. Yes, I at least know the location.
That's exciting.
And I dreamed two hilarious scenes early this morning and woke up and wrote them down. I'm like, well, this can't go in this series. It does not fit, but it'll be in the next one. So
Amazing. I love
it's
that.
happening.
I love that. Like every time again, I talk to authors and they just tell me like how different things comes to mind. And so many people like, yeah, I'm like just driving and I like get this like crazy vision and I like have to pull over and write it down. Or I wake up to a dream and like I have a dream journal that I immediately put it in there and find a way to add it to my book. I'm like, that's so cool. My brain doesn't do that. I want to wake up to cool like scenes in my head that I'm like, wait, that'd be awesome. I just wake up and I'm like,
Yes.
work, boo.
I get sad when it doesn't happen for a while and think, oh no, is it gone? And then it will. And yeah, it's so exciting. I love dreaming ideas. It's always, yeah, gives me a bounce in my step for days afterwards.
That's so awesome. That's so special. Well, I have one more question before we kind of start to wrap things up here. Your covers, I've always loved them. I adore them actually. But the
Thank
ones for
you.
this series particularly have just been like so I love them. They're so good. How
Thank you.
like yeah, again, they're so good. I love everything about them and I love that you had
Thank
them like
you.
here ready to show them. That's it makes it even better because I've been
So
obsessed with them.
excited. Thank you.
How did you, walk me through that process a little bit, what it's been like? Did you have an idea that you're like, okay, I want this specifically on the cover? Did you just kind of go back and forth to be, like, did you have a specific image in your head or are you just like, okay, I'm open to ideas, but this is kind of the themes that I want to roll with?
Well, I'm very particular about couples on my covers, and so I search for a long time for the right picture, and I love these pictures. The gist, not the gist, but originally they were all kind of kissing, like even if
Mm-hmm.
it was, now I did swap out one so they're not all going to be kissing, but that was kind of originally the couple's common thread.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're just beautiful couples. And then my daughter-in-law painted the special edition ones.
That's so
These.
special.
So yeah,
They're
I'm
also good too. Like the one for Mad Love, I love that one too. It's
yes,
beautiful. That's so special that you have that connection.
yes, so fun. And Emily Wittig put some together, and I think the photographs are mostly Aisha Lee, and then Regina Wamba has one in there. So,
That's
oh, and also Wonder has one in there. Just forgot about that one.
So when you get the images in and you like actually get to see them, do you just get like so excited? And again, it's that feeling of like a pep in your step, and you're just like, oh my gosh, it's happening.
Yes, yeah, seeing all the covers, and then like Emily or my PA or someone will do like a graphic of all of them together, and yeah, just I feel like okay, it's it's legit, it's happening, it's real, it's good.
No, it's not just something in the back of my brain anymore. I see it. It exists.
Yes, yeah,
That's so special.
yeah, I love the covers, and yeah, I spend a lot of time thinking about them and obsessing about them. So
Yeah, I remember we talked about that last time because again, when we talked last time, I was like, I was obsessed with all the ones for Landmark Mountain. I have had Autumn Nights. I've all the other ones too. They're so good. They're all on my shelf. They're hiding because I've had to like double stack my shelves now because I have no space for my books.
yeah.
My future father-in-law is gonna have to build me more because I
Ooh, nice.
quickly filled up this one. So they're like double and triple stacked in there. But I got so many of them because again, I'm obsessed with them and I
Love
think they're
it.
so pretty. But I remember we
Yeah.
talked about it last time and you were like, I'm particular, but in the best way because I want them to be so good. And like the series, they're just like top notch. Every time you post a new one and it's like, here's
Aw.
the cover reveal, I'm like, boom, she did it again.
Yay! Thank you. That's so great to hear. Good.
They're always so good. Like I said, the people covers and the discreet or whatever, people call them different things, but the alternate
Mhm.
covers, I love them both each time. I'm just like,
Thank
they're
you.
so good. They're so wholesome and it's always like so good with the story. Once you especially get to, read the story, it's like that makes so much sense and it fits so well with like the image of what you're trying to get. And I just love everything about it.
Uh, yay. Good. I'm so excited that you love them. Yeah. I was so attached to the Landmark Mountain special edition ones, like
Those are
those.
beautiful too.
I love them. So it was hard to think, okay, it can't look the same because this is like sports romance. That makes it a little different than,
Yeah.
just small town. So it's like, oh no, now what do I do?
No, these are still fantastic and they're so good. As we're kind of wrapping things up, if people want to get in contact or just like, follow you on social media, things like that, where is the best place for them to follow you either on like TikTok or if it's like more of you're on Facebook or Instagram, where can people be like, okay, I want to get plugged in. Where do you want me to send them to?
So my favorite is Instagram. I'm in all the places. I'm on TikTok, and I've got a Facebook page, I've got a Facebook group, but my favorite is Instagram. So there, I guess.
That's where people send you. Perfect. And then obviously, again, the book is coming out on October 10th for this series, but you have other books too that are on Kindle Unlimited in places. Is
Mhm.
that just the best place for people to still find stuff as Kindle Unlimited? And honestly, there's audiobooks now too if they want to,
Yeah,
people are more into audiobooks if that's what they want to do.
audio will be releasing at the same time, so it'll be out on August or October 10th as well, and for each book release. So I'm so excited about that. That this series is the first I've been able to do that. So
That's so special. I think it's awesome when like I know so much goes into audio, especially once I like realize that and I've asked the questions like again, all the props because you have to have it done so early. But I think at like readers, we get so happy when it's like, okay, especially if it's a book that you can download on Kindle Unlimited and then also buy the audio so you can like go back and forth and you can like listen
yes,
but also read. It just makes like the whole like perfect little immersive reading experience and I love it.
yay! Oh, yeah, I'm ecstatic about doing the audio at the same time. It's been a long time coming and so worth it. So this
Awesome.
one has Sebastian York and Savannah Peachwood.
So good.
Not is it Savannah Peachwood?
Let's go look. I know it's Sebastian York. I don't remember.
Er, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's
No way.
either
It's fantastic.
it, it's so good. It's so good.
They nailed
Um,
it. They nailed
yes,
it.
they did. They so did. It is. Thank God it is.
I didn't want to be like, say yes and then go back and be like, okay, I'm wrong. So I was like, I'm going to let her just double check that just to make sure.
Yeah, I had a moment of panic because I've had a couple Samanthas, and yeah, so it's not. I'm so sorry if you hear this, Savannah Peachwood, because she did an incredible job.
Awesome. Well, as we're wrapping things up, finally, is there anything you want to say that maybe I didn't ask you or just things that you want to say to your readers, just in general?
Just thank you for reading my books. I'm so grateful for everyone who reads them. I still can't believe I get to do this for a living, and yeah, it's the best gift ever. I would still be writing either way, but you guys reading it makes it so much better. So much better.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again, Willow, for taking the time to talk to me today. I always have such a good time talking with you. And guys, make
Thank
sure that you
you.
are reading the book when it comes out on October 10th. Again, this series, you
Yes.
can get it. The first one, Mad Love, is already out now, but Secret Love will be out on October 10th. And it'll be on Kindle Limited, and the audio will be out on the exact same day. And you can always stay up to date on everything happening here at Michaela's Book Nook here if you are watching on YouTube or on my Spotify as well. We always have updated author interviews, reviews, and more. And until next time, everyone, bye.
Bye.